Hello everyone, welcome to Chem Analysis. In today's lecture, I will mainly discuss about metal carbonyls and the stretching frequency of carbonyls in different bonding mode, and most importantly how to calculate that how many carbonyl stretching frequency, that is how many carbonyl bands will be observed for a metal carbonyls. You will get very few videos where it was said how to calculate the number of stretching bands for metal carbonyl in different complexes. So watch this video carefully and till the end. And if you are new in this channel, then subscribe to my channel to get such more interesting and important topics in future. Now, before going to discuss about different nature of carbonyl stretching frequency in metal complexes, let's first see the molecular orbital diagram of carbon monoxide. If this is a 2s atomic orbital and these are the 2p atomic orbital of carbon, then the 2s and 2p atomic orbital of oxygen will be lower in energy, since oxygen atom is more electronegative. So here will be 2s, and let's see, here is the 2p atomic orbital. It may be somewhat upper, since the energy gap between the 2s and 2p atomic orbital for oxygen will be less in comparison to carbon. Now, in the formation of molecular orbital, there is a sp mixing, one s orbital and one p orbital will mix. This sp mixing will form a atomic orbital which will not get any atomic orbital of same energy from carbon. So this will form a molecular orbital, that is non-bonding, sigma non-bonding, and it will be near to the atomic orbital of oxygen. Similarly, this sp mixing will form a atomic orbital that can combine with this sp mixing of carbon atomic orbital to form a sigma bonding and correspondingly one sigma anti-bonding. These are all sp mixing, sp atomic orbital. And similarly there will be another sp mixing, and this atomic orbital will not get any atomic orbital from oxygen, so this will remain as a non-bonding sigma orbital, and this will be near about the atomic orbital of carbon. And this is sigma bonding, this is sigma anti-bonding. And similarly there is remaining 2p orbital, here is also 2p orbital, and they will couple to each other to form pi molecular orbital. There will be 2 pi molecular orbital and 2 pi anti-bonding molecular orbital. Okay, now since in case of carbon there is 6 electron and there is 8 electron for oxygen, so in total in carbon monoxide in the valence shell there is 10 electron, and they will fill the molecular orbital in this way. There is total 10 electron in this molecular orbital. Now we can see that the HOMO for carbon monoxide is sigma non-bonding, and LUMO for carbon monoxide is pi star anti-bonding. Star means anti-bonding and there is no star means bonding. It is not needed to write that anti-bonding. It is similar to pi star, that is pi anti-bonding. Now during formation of metal carbonyl complexes like MCO whole X, carbon monoxide will donate its sigma non-bonding electron to a vacant orbital of metal center, and it will form a sigma bond. And similarly, since it has pi anti-bonding orbital which is LUMO, it can form a pi bond with d electron density of the metal, that is a back bonding is possible, which will involve the d orbital of metal with the vacant pi star orbital of carbon monoxide, and this is pi back bonding. And the combination of these two effects, that is sigma bonding, sigma donation and pi acceptance, is known as synergistic effect. And if we calculate the bond order for carbon monoxide, it will be, that is half into number of bonding electrons, that is here is this 2 electron is non-bonding and it cannot be counted in bond order calculation. So in bonding there is 2 to 4 and to 6 bonding electron, and in anti-bonding there is no electron. So bond order for carbon monoxide is 3, and depending on the pi back bonding, and since pi electron going to pi star atomic orbital, and that is it is in anti-bonding in nature, so with increasing electron density in the anti-bonding orbital, bond order of carbon monoxide will decreases, and similarly bond strength decreases, that means stretching frequency, which is 1 by 2 pi c root over k by mu in semi inverse, that is k is the bond strength. With increasing bond order, bond strength increases. Here since due to back bonding, bond strength decreases, so stretching frequency of carbon monoxide will decrease with increasing the pi back bonding from the metal center. That means with increasing d electron density on the metal center, it will favor the pi electron donation, that is pi back bonding, and subsequently it will lower the bond strength of carbon monoxide, and similarly the stretching frequency of carbon monoxide in metal carbonyl complexes. Now in free carbon monoxide, the stretching frequency for CO bond in semi inverse is 2143 semi inverse. In terminal bonding, that is carbon monoxide is terminal in the bonding with the metal center. In this case, due to pi back bonding, the stretching frequency of carbon monoxide will decrease and it will remain within 1850 to 2120 semi inverse. And in doubly bridging means the carbon monoxide is bonded to two metal center, and due to pi electron donation from the two metal center, the stretching frequency of carbon monoxide will decreases more and it will remain within 1750 to 1850 centimeter inverse. And similarly in triply bridging mode, there is the carbon monoxide will be bridged with three metal center and stretching frequency will decreases more, and the stretching frequency remains within 1600 to 1675 centimeter inverse. That is mu3 type bridging. There is another type of bonding, that is semi bridging bonding, and in this case the bridging of carbon monoxide with the metal center is in between terminal and doubly bridging, that is terminal and mu2 means doubly bridging. And for such type of bridging, that is semi bridging, the stretching frequency of carbonyl remains within the terminal carbonyl and doubly bridged carbonyl, that is within this two stretching frequency region. Is it clear? More the metal center will donate electron to the pi star antibonding orbital, that is more the back bonding, less is the stretching frequency for the carbonyl. That means I want to say that for a series of metal carbonyl complexes, that is for a series of isoelectronic metal carbonyl complexes, just for example CrCO whole 6, it is 18 electron complex. In valencer there is 18 electron, and for another varying the metal center to fulfill the 18 electron configuration, let's suppose for vanadium, the vanadium CO6, since it is 17 electron complex, since carbon monoxide will donate 2 electron, that is 12, and in vanadium there is 5 valence electron, that means 17 electron, and to fulfill the 18 electron it should be anion. And similarly, if we consider MnCO whole 6, that is Mn is 7 and CO is 6 CO contributes 12 electron, that means 19 electron, and to fulfill the 18 electron it should be plus 1. Is it okay? All are 18 electron complex. Now for such 18 electron complex, we have to arrange them in the order of stretching frequency of carbonyl. Now as I told previously that with increasing the pi electron density, now as I previously described that with increasing the pi back bonding from the metal center, the stretching frequency of carbonyl decreases. Now since the cationic charge on the metal center, the complex is cationic, means the metal center is positively charged. Now with increasing the positive charge on the metal center, the pi electron donor tendency of the metal decreases. That means since manganese is containing plus 1 charge, chromium is neutral, and vanadium is anion. That means we can say the d electron donor tendency, that is pi back bonding tendency, increases as we go from manganese plus to vanadium minus. Since vanadium is negatively charged, it can easily donate its density to the pi star atomic orbital or pi star molecular orbital of carbon monoxide molecule. That means pi back bonding increases from MnCO whole 6 plus to vanadium CO whole 6 minus. That is, when we go from manganese CO whole 6 plus to vanadium CO whole 6 minus, the CO stretching frequency will decrease. Mu CO will decrease. That means the order of carbonyl stretching frequency will follow as MnCO whole 6 plus will be maximum, since pi back bonding is least in this case, then CO whole 6, and in the least will be CO whole 6 minus. Is it okay? Now if we consider the complex like, that is ML3CO3 type complex, that is L is the ligand attached to the metal center, and varying the ligand, the carbonyl stretching frequency will vary. Let's suppose the metal center is fixed and 3 carbonyl is fixed, just ligand will vary from one complex to another. That is, one ligand is PF3 whole 3. All the ligands will be 2 electron donor, and for that case the complex will be 18 electron complex, since for chromium there is 6 valence electron and 6 ligand should have to contribute 12 electron, and for that reason for that case the total electron will be 18. And the other complex, if we consider PCl 3 whole 3, it is A, it is B, and another complex we are considering Me 3 whole 3 Cr CO whole 3. Now another one complex, that is PPH3 whole 3 CrCO whole 3. In these cases, we have to consider the electron donating tendency of this ligand to the metal center. With increasing the electron donating tendency of this ligand, it will increases the electron density on the central metal, that is chromium metal center, and as a consequence this metal center can donate this electron density to the pi star atomic orbital of the carbon monoxide, and thereby decreases the carbonyl stretching frequency. That means higher the electron donating tendency, higher electron donor ability of the ligand, it will donate more electron to the metal center, and as a subsequent the metal center will involve in better pi back bonding, that is higher the pi back bonding, between chromium and carbon monoxide, and as a result stretching frequency of carbonyl will decreases with increasing the pi back bonding, as I have discussed previously. Now among these 4 ligand, the order of electron donor tendency will follow as PF3 will be least electron donor since fluorine is most electronegative, and then it will be PCl3 since chlorine will exert its minus I effect better than the plus R effect, and it will be followed by POMe3 whole 3, and in this case oxygen will show its electron withdrawing minus I effect as well as electron donating plus R effect, so it will be more electron donating. POMe3 will be more electron donating in comparison to PCl3, since in this case minus I effect of chlorine will be greater than the plus R effect, and in this case plus R effect of OMe will be greater than its minus I effect, and in the last, that is more electron donating, will be PPH3 ligand. This is the order of electron donor tendency. As I have told that with increasing the electron donor tendency, pi back bonding from metal to carbonyl will increases, that is pi back bonding order for the metal complexes containing these ligands will follow this order, and as a result the carbonyl stretching frequency will follow the opposite order. That means the carbonyl stretching frequency order will be PF3 CrCO whole 3. I am just writing as ABCD, that is A, that is PF3 whole 3 CrCO whole 3 will be highest, then it will be B, followed by C, and the least carbonyl stretching frequency will be for PPH3 whole 3 CrCO whole 3, since in this case pi back bonding will be maximum. So this is the stretching frequency, carbonyl stretching frequency order. Now let's see an example in a specific group and see what happens when we move from top to bottom in a group. Suppose, as for example, take this example, that is chromium CO whole 6, molybdenum CO whole 6, and tungsten CO whole 6. Now as we go from top to bottom, from chromium to molybdenum to tungsten, the size of the central metal ion increases as we go from chromium to molybdenum, but from molybdenum to tungsten, due to lanthanide contraction, the size of these two metal center remains same. And in these two cases, since after going from chromium to molybdenum, the extra d electron is entering in the 4d atomic orbital, and due to lesser scattering efficiency of the d electrons, the size of molybdenum does not increases so much, and in these cases it is observed that the back bonding of the metal d electrons remains almost same as we go from top to bottom along a group, and in these cases the carbonyl stretching frequency remains almost same. If you see the value, you can see that in case of chromium CO whole 6 the value is 2000 semi-inverse. In molybdenum CO whole 6 it is 2004 semi-inverse, and in case of tungsten it is 1998 semi-inverse. That is, all the carbon stretching frequencies are near about same. Similarly is the case for iron also. Iron CO whole 5 it is 18 electron complex. Iron ruthenium, between them there will be ruthenium, and in this case also the carbon stretching frequency remains almost same. That is, there is no such drastic change in going from top to bottom along a group. Now if you consider a system like vanadium CO whole 6, if you go for a neutral carbonyl complexes from in a period from left to right, as you go from left to right, the electronegativity of the metal center increases, and as a result the electron donor ability of the metal center, electron donor tendency from vanadium to manganese decreases due to increase in effective nuclear charge. As d electrons increases, and due to lesser scanning efficiency of the d electron, the effective nuclear charge from vanadium to manganese increases, and as a result electron donor tendency decreases, and we see the new stretching frequency for carbonyl in these complexes will increase as we go from vanadium CO whole 6 to manganese CO whole 6. That is, it will increase from left to right. Is it okay? And another one thing, as I have said in starting, that with increasing with metal to carbon monoxide pi back bonding, the bond order of carbon monoxide decreases, and similarly MC bond order increases. Since pi back bonding is from metal center to carbon atom, so MC bond order increases. That is, MC bond strength also increases. If you consider the nu of MC bond, then it will increases. So that's all for this discussion, because it is almost 25 minutes to 28 minutes. So in next lecture I will discuss about how to interpret that how many carbon stretching frequency bands will be observed for a metal carbonyl complex. It is a very important topic, so please watch that lecture also in the next discussion. So thank you for watching. If you like this lecture, then please share it and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.